What's up? What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into another one. As if you're watching this in the order that they're put out, Dave's Big Boards, this is the last one. This is one that we've recorded last in the order of 6. Dave, how you doing for this one? It is 12:30 at night as we are recording this. It's not 12:30 at night when they're watching this. Maybe.
If I'm gonna be honest, as a man who woke up at 6 a.m. yesterday,
what sleep is.
no, I feel pretty great. Normally, I would be asleep for several hours by now. So the fact that I am still conscious, still talking, still motivated shows you how much I love talking about basketball. Might be a problem.
Just inject it into your veins. Inject it into your veins. This is Dave's Big Boards. In this one, we're looking at bigs, guys who play the 5. Dave's going to give his descriptor in a second for this, but before that, if you have not, check out our Patreon page if you want to support us. That link down below in the description. And if you're not a part of the Discord, go ahead and join it. That link also down below. But Dave, before we get into everything, give us your descriptors, give us your list, and then we'll talk about some bigs. Yeah.
Before we do that, I'm just gonna realize I think I've drank a gallon of water since we started doing these episodes.
That's good. That's good. But you got to keep it consistent with the class, right?
I did. Well, that's you know, I've got a gimmick, I've got a theme, Dave and wine. But
Dave, I'm breaking the kayfabe here. There is no kayfabe with the MVP videos.
There is no kayfabe at this point. It is water, and I've been drinking water because it's like 90 degrees outside and like 80 degrees inside. Yeah. So hydrate, people. This is your hydration reminder. If you're listening to this now, get some water. Ricky and me, hydration reminder. All right.
I still got some water. My ice is melted. I still got some water. It's still cold too.
I don't got ice. I'm gonna be honest. I used all my ice earlier, and now I forgot to put the tray back in.
That's why you got that. That's why I got that ice maker, baby.
You got a fancy fridge.
Yeah, well, maybe.
I got a fridge from the 90s.
I got 5 pieces of candy. I got a chocolate bar. I got a quarter. I got a rock.
I got a fridge.
Anyway, we're talking bigs. We're talking people of the height of 6'8". Now, why 6'8", you ask? Well, because one of the bigs is 6'8". Mm-hmm. That's now magically the cutoff line for me. Obviously, number one big, number one player in the entire draft, number one talent in the last, some would say, 20 years. Victor Wembanyama, number one. In a draft class where there are literally only 2 bigs, number 2 is Lively. Of course it is, because there's literally no other options to go here. It feels like this draft class, as far as bigs are concerned, is extremely limited. So that's why we continue onwards, because we have more names to talk about. At number 3, I have out of Alabama. And I almost said Arkansas there. We did so many Arkansas players. Alabama.
Yeah, a lot of Alabama fans would have been upset.
It would have been, and I didn't.
Roll Tide.
Alabama, Charles Bediako, someone who even Bama fans were surprised stayed in the draft. Mm-hmm. Me too. Yeah. And you're going, there was a name that wasn't in the big wings, but he's not mentioned here yet. We'll get to him. At number 4, Trace Jackson Davis, just the ultra efficiency player from Indiana, the biggest Hoosier you could Hoosier. Mm-hmm. At 5, Adama Sanogo, UConn champion. At 6, I got James Najee, international prospect who has incredible measurables and great defense. But what else? Mystery box. At 7, I've got Clowney. There he is. Why is he there? We'll talk about it. At 8, Tristan Vukcevic, big 7-foot sharp shooter. I'm sorry, it is literally almost 12:30. People. Tristan Vukcevic. And then we've got Muhammad Gay, Timmy, because of course no list would be complete without Timmy on there. Tibulis out of Arizona, and then Oscar Tshieba out of Ricky said.
Out of Kentucky. Like the master Uguay hate, I will never understand. I will never understand why Oscar Tshieba is so low for you. Dude is a walking rebound. And also is working on his 3-point shot. Did you not see those videos from the draft combine, Dave? He's shooting threes now.
Do you want a 6'9" Andre Drummond?
Yeah, I like Andre Drummond.
That's so much about you right now.
Rebounds like crazy.
So much about you right now.
I actually had fun watching him this year, Dave. So yeah, I will take him over Kobe White.
I'll take a 6'9" version of him.
I like
a 7-footer.
I like Oscar Tshiebwe. So we all know Wemby's number one. We don't need to talk about. I'm actually gonna try it. Wembanyama. No, Wembanyama. Wembanyama.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
See, I like Wembanyama better. I like Wembanyama better. It sounds better, and it fits with Wembanyama.
Wemby's gonna be great.
Wemby, think about a name change. It'll be the best thing for your career. But we're looking after that is you got Derek Lively. And the big thing here, Dave, is I'll ask you, Lively is like, I feel like this is the weakest of these arguments, but why Lively over Charles? I think we all know why, because, Lively is the first round talent.
Lively's literally been the only one mocked in the first round. But also, that doesn't affect me in my big boards, as seen by earlier, where I have guys who are clearly not mocked in the first round going above people who are mocked way higher.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about that shit.
Marcus Sasser.
Sasser.
The Sasser.
Lively is someone who probably goes under the radar because of people over-criticized his game so much in college, to the point where even he was just like, it felt like he got down on himself for a bit. But he's a very good, very limited center. He wants to grow his game. He wants to get that range extended out there. He wants to be someone who is not just a rim runner. But for now, he's a very good rim runner. Like, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you could be more, but like you got a good thing going, man. Like, maybe that's all right. Like, if you're in the same vein as like a Clint Capella, as that's not a bad thing. Like, you have NBA paychecks you can cash easily. You are first round talent guaranteed if you can do similar to that. And that's what you did in college. You finished efficiently. You were able to block shots pretty effectively, if I do say so myself. Several of those went into the stands. He's just a player who needs to work on his screen game, honestly. Like, screen game, drop coverage. He can't switch onto guards, but beyond that, like, there's nothing groundbreaking about him. He's just a good defensive player who has very good finishing skills in the paint and is very limited outside of that offensively. If he works on his screen game, if he works on his facilitating game, it doesn't feel like there is a massive like chance that he gets a ton better, but he'd still be a starter on like 20 teams tomorrow. Like not like tomorrow, but like, you know what I mean? He has the ability to be a starter on any team in the NBA in the next couple of years outside of, Embiid, Jokic, territory. So and like the thing that I wonder with Lively is I've seen so many different places be like, oh, well, this team up in the mid-teens could take them. But then there's others that are like, oh, man, like this team that is like around 10, 12. Notice how I said specific picks for a reason. Should maybe trade back and try to get him later in the draft. Like, I think he's somebody that like a team at the top of the draft, not top, but like late top 10 could look to say, hey, let's trade back, let's get some picks, and then pick up a Derek Lively. I agree. Here's the other thing. We talked about this a little bit in the shooting guard position. Center's not a sexy role unless you are special. Like, I literally just compared him to Clint Capella. Who gets excited about Clint Capella? Hawks fans. Well, I don't even think they get sexy about Clint Capella. I'm pretty sure they understand. Cancer, let us know. Let us know. They understand he's a good player, but I don't think anyone gets super excited about it. But if the X Factor kind of guys like Kat, like Embiid, like Jokic, guys who can do something special at that position are worth the pick very high in the draft. Otherwise, it feels like the position has lost a good deal of value because the role has just changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? As a fan, you watch in playoffs and you're like, damn, defense at the rim is such a premium.
Mm-hmm.
That is why you pick him. If you want to win games when it matters, Derek Lively's the right kind of a player you want on your team. Like, he is exactly a rim protecting big, nothing more, nothing less, super good. And guess what? He barely got used in college. Like, he had one of the lowest usage rates. Even as a center, I believe it was under like 15, which is just wild. So, there is a chance that, hey, maybe there is some good passing to be had there. Maybe there is some more stuff he could do, but we just didn't get to see it at Duke because not only was his point guard Tyrese Proctor, who played poorly for the majority of the year, the whole situation at Duke wasn't great.
Coach K's first year gone.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna go any further into that. But I think that it was a disappointing year for him, and I think that it's all projection at this point.
Yeah,
going forward. But I think good teams want centers who protect the rim. He's got upside. He's got plenty of room to grow. So yeah, it feels like a good pick. Even though I just talked about why it feels kind of like it's not sexy to pick a center. When we got Wendell Carter Jr., you know what we were like? Meh. I remember being with you in California, and we were standing outside of a restaurant.
Were we in California for that? Was that the one Sean did by himself?
Yeah, I feel like it was.
Was it?
No. Maybe.
No, I don't think so. But go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up.
I just remember sitting there talking to you about one of and going, cool. Like, cool. Guy that one of us really loved that pick, and he's turned out to be an all right player. Cool, centers just don't move the ratings unless you are special.
No, that we didn't do. Were we in California for the Luka draft?
I think so.
That was 2 years before COVID.
I think so, Ricky.
I'm gonna find it out. Like, you saying that, I just went like, wait, no, that can't be right. But yet again, the whole COVID year has messed up. You don't know how many times, Dave, I tell people when they go, oh yeah, COVID. I'm like, oh yeah, 2019. They're like, no, 2020. I go, no, it started in March of 2019. It's like, no, it did not.
It was 2020. Yeah. But point being,
go ahead.
He's aren't sexy, but he's a good player, so you should take him, and you should be happy with it. And he'll go pretty high because there's literally only 2 centers in this draft class, apparently, according to every reputable news coverage. That's it. Meanwhile, you got this kid at Alabama, Charles Bediako, who I think is pretty good. And
it's good when Dave starts getting the high pitch going.
Well, here's the thing: people all were gushing about Clowney because it starts with Brandon Miller, Bama's guy. He was the number 1 player on that team. Jake Bradley even got some rub for like draft early in the year where we're like, oh, is this whole team going to be in the draft? No, like that is not where that's going. But Clowney was the guy who basically got the additional push forward as like, man, this guy's, he's working on growing his shot out a little bit further, and he plays this kind of tweener role. I'll take the center. I'll take the actual center on that team who played fantastic defense, could finish well. He has a complete package as a player to me. I would be pretty happy to walk away with him in the second round. I think value-wise, that would be amazing. Notably, he's 3rd on my power rankings. So second round value for potentially the 3rd best center in class is pretty good. That's Nick Claxton territory, So not they're similar players. I'm just putting out there as far as value, Looking back on it, Clax was a massive steal.
Dave, you are good.
I told you. I remember the conversation we had at the restaurant where we ran into somebody who knew where we were from.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I tell people about that a lot.
It's weird, yeah.
But because I looked and it's 2018 NBA draft, best and worst picks of the first round. And it is Sean Anderson.
Yep.
By himself.
Missed you, Sean.
Obama. But yeah, like the other centers on this list, I will say there's one guy who I'm going to compare him to this only because, and not a direct comparison. It's a Ricky comparison. Like I like this guy. I like the guy that he reminds me of. It's like, remember when I really loved Naminas Quaida out of Utah State? That's how I feel. That's how I feel about Sanogo. Like I love Sanogo. Like Sanogo is going to be a second round big that gets drafted that I love because I was a Quaida guy. It's like Quaida, Chimezi Matu, these guys that I loved that are probably going to go in the second round.
So Ricky, you want to hear something shocking?
Go ahead.
Guess how tall Sanogo is?
7'2", 7'4".
6'7.25".
Oh, I was overshooting that
by a lot.
Yeah. I was thinking big, and I was thinking like when you said guess what size he is because we're talking about centers. I was thinking, oh, he's ridiculously tall. So off the top of my head, I don't know how tall he is.
It's the opposite.
So you're saying he's the size of a wing, so he might not even play center. Is what you're saying.
So what I'm saying is you should look at someone like a Kevon Looney. You should look at someone like a Kevon Looney for where he could be as far as production-wise and how role-wise he might fit best on a team.
Yeah.
I think that is a situation where he needs to lose a little bit of weight, get mobile, but he is such a fantastic touch inside. Yeah. And he is such a smart player with his positioning, using his body to seal off people. Yeah. That UConn offense, his screen-setting capabilities, teams should be begging him. Like, come on, we need somebody like that. Because I'll tell you, watching people just suck at setting screens for the rest of the league sucks. The Warriors set illegal screens, great. So should every team, because they don't call it, so we should all do it. And the fact that people still argue about that is insane to me. It's just jealousy on my end at this point going, why can't we do that? Like, literally, why did our center somehow turn into Slender Man when he needs to set a screen? Like, the f*** are we doing? Like, so Sanogo is someone who not only championship pedigree, good measurables as far as he may only be 6'7.25", but he does have like a 7'3" wingspan. So it works out. He's got good sized hands. He's got a good mind. He's got a good touch. Literally everything you would want from a production standpoint that you could see in college, he kept getting better. Yeah. And he will keep getting better. So I think that he, honestly, like, I've got him at 5 right now. I've got TJD above him because TJD was a f***ing workhorse in college. The man was literally one-man teamed Indy to success. Trying to avoid Jalen Hood-Schifano right now, just the slander. The slander wants to be spewed right now before it hits 1 in the morning. Yeah. But like Sanogo's probably the more I talk about him, the more I'm about to flip some things up in these rankings. I do like him a lot, Ricky. I'm glad hearing you like him makes me just happier that I'm. Yeah. Okay. Like
I watched a lot of UConn games.
The concern is the height. It's 100%. Can he guard centers in the NBA? And I literally am just going to point it. He needs to model his game, and whoever drafts him needs to model the way they try to use him off of Kevon Looney and the Golden State Warriors. If Golden State gets Sanogo,
where's Tankathon have him going?
That's a dream matchup right there. That's a win-win, baby.
Tankathon has him to the Grizzlies at 56.
That'd be great, too. They would love him. Because they do need to eventually move on from Steven Adams. And he would be a great replacement coming off the bench. Because you hope Brandon Clark comes back healthy, but you don't know with that injury. You're hopeful.
Also, a couple guys from this list that your boy Vuk.
Yep.
They have
7-foot sniper.
They have him going to the Clippers.
I don't even understand that. He is He is 2023 Ryan Anderson. He is a great shooter, but his team was better when he wasn't on the court. Yeah, and I hate that, but he's young. He's still a young gun. He's got a lot of room to grow. You hope you can find some sense of some defense out there from him, but I would let him stay in Europe for a while.
Yeah. And then your boy Mohamed Gay going to the Thunder.
Yeah. I don't quite get that pick, but they do need a center. So I mean, like, why not? Like, you got Chet, you got a bunch of guys who are like 6'8" already. Getting a true big and Mohamed Gay could be a not terrible idea. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Yeah, fit wise, probably fine off the bench for him. But they just have so many people on that roster already.
Any other guys on this list you think that, hey, I didn't touch him, I should?
Why is Clowney so low? And do you think Najee is good at basketball? Those are the two things that I think are out there. Like, Najee, you just watch him play basketball and you're like, that man is physically dope. He is he's just a defensive dude. But, like, you also watch him and you go, can he play in the NBA in, like, 2 years? Like, 3 years? Like, when's the timeline for when he would actually be someone who is an NBA caliber player? And that is a concern for me. He's a draft and stash right now. So I don't value him super highly because of that. And yeah, Clowney, I just don't buy the outside shot. I think it's Fugaze.
A little Fugazi.
Fugaze.
The little Fugaze. But that is going to do it, Dave. We've officially gotten through all 6. It only took us 2 hours and 47 minutes to get through all 3 of them, but we did it.
I wish I'd done my work earlier so we could have started this before.
Oh, trust me, Dave. About a half hour ago, I thought about that. I was like, man, if we would have started this at about an hour and a half sooner, it would have only been like 10 to 11, would have been much more digestible. I'm not mad. I like recording. I love doing this.
It was good vibes, I'll be honest.
Also, I will say, yet again, the people seeing this have already seen the product.
Yeah.
I hope you like what I'm going to do with the editing for these videos, because I'm going to do something that I've seen other YouTubers start to do, and I'm going to incorporate it into these videos. I think there's some prime spots to put some good edits into. I hope you like it. I
don't know what's coming. I hope you like it. I hope. Here's my list of hopes. I hope your editing's good, because there's a lot of swearing, and I'm now intrigued by your thoughts.
You didn't have that many tonight. Like, you had. I thought you were gonna have less. You started off slow, but then like you went into like, I felt like your head was like, oh man, I'm not keeping up my quota, and then you just boom 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 boom. Oh man, the quota's down.
Certain parts of the conversation gets me going, but I hope the editing's good. I'm curious to see what you're gonna do with these videos. Yeah. I hope a lot of people in the comments have questions about why I put people where I put people. Yeah. Whether it's on the board itself or whether it's positionally, if they think I'm at the wrong, line of thought for that. So I really am curious to see the feedback from the people. I hope they have fun listening to it though, because at the end of the day, it's entertainment, baby.
Yeah, it's all it is entertainment. And let's not act like you just did these rankings to get a reaction out of people. These are your rankings. Like, I just wanted to clarify that, because
just wait till it all comes together in one glorious big board.
And Dave's just gonna be like, when Dave was right. That's the ultimate big board.
It is, and I'm guilty of doing that. I do the one Dave was right and one Dave was wrong. There's plenty on both sides.
I was gonna say much like Colin Cowherd, but he doesn't do the second one.
Really?
I don't think he does when he's wrong. I think he only does when he's right. Yeah, I don't know. I stopped listening to Colin. I'll be completely honest.
Something divorce metaphor.
Hot Vegas heat. Don't forget those, when he was sitting in his car in the hot Vegas heat. But that is going to do it for our Bigs video. Remember, if you want to support the channel, make sure to check our Patreon link down below in the description. If you want to join the Discord, best community in the universe, that link is also in the description, as well as I give you a little ASMR as I hit the mic there. But that'll do it. Let us know what you think down below. I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. This is the first one of these that you've seen. Go check out our other 5. They will be on our YouTube channel. Thank you guys for checking these out. And as always, have a good day, everybody. As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.